because I get better turnout that way. And I swear, like, the later I go, the better it is too. Like, I don't know. So, yeah, so check out that fairy video if you haven't checked it out. It's the latest video. I just saw it on the internet. It's this lady. She shared them all on her social web page, probably Facebook or Instagram. She shared all these pictures. They were basically pictures, and they looked legit to me, of fairies, okay? They looked real. They looked real. And she said that, so she said that the reason she sees them so easily and she spots them, they're always around us. And they're always contributing to our vibe and our aura, and they love us, and they want to see people succeed, right? But most people don't even know they exist. But this lady started sharing them, and she'd point them out to family members, and the family members would never spot them. They'd be like, what are you looking at? So she thought, well, what the heck? Why can't you see them? I can see them so easily. Well, she started thinking about it, and she contributes it to training she had while working for the CIA. She worked under Project Gateway. It was basically a project described as training to bring strength, focus, and coherence to the amplitude and frequency of the brainwave output, okay? They found that the side we use most, or each side of our brain has a frequency. And on the left hemisphere, it deals with, acts like the mind's computer software to reduce input from the right hemisphere, your verbals, your symbols, and your concepts. And your right consciousness has to do with your sight, 3D, holographic to 2D, etc. But basically, they figured out how to vibe these two hemispheres on the same frequency. And when you do that, this was released. This is facts, family. This is a released document by the CIA. So they started back in the 80s. They wanted to see if they could use psychic ability to train soldiers. And they found that actually, like, clairvoyance and the remote viewers, they found that it worked and it was real, fam. So they started figuring out how to hone it and how to train it. They found that when they got them on the same frequency, you could astral travel. So they would send you, but it took a while. Like, it wasn't that easy. It wasn't like an overnight type thing. They had to train your mind. They had to do exercises. You had to meditate. But it is said, though, based on the documents I read, and you can Google it right now. Google Project Gateway Experience, and you will see, and go to images, and it'll show you the documents, the actual typed up letter between a couple generals, one of the higher ups in the CIA and one of the higher ups in the U.S. government. The CIA was actually keeping this hidden. They were keeping it on the low from the U.S. government, okay? And the U.S. government was like, what is going on here? We don't quite really know. So guess what? We're going to send in an agent. So they sent an undercover agent in there. And you can actually look, if you Google it, you can find the testimony of the agent, of said agent. All right? I should have sent it to myself. I'm going to check it out right now. But that was really fascinating. The agent's testimony was really fascinating, you guys. You could just tell he was definitely a pro. Like, he was a genius level man, for sure. Project Gateway. And you got to type in CIA after it. If you don't type in CIA, it'll take you on some tangent. Because obviously, you know why. Project Gateway. To swerve people, man. To swerve you. CIA. And like I say, if you look up the pictures, images. Okay. I want to find the exact testimony of. Okay, right here, fam. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this right quick. This is the testimony of the agent from Project Gateway, okay? You tasked me to provide an assessment of the Gateway experience in terms of its mechanics and ultimate practicality. Now, why they did this is because they were throwing a bunch of money at it. And they didn't know if they were throwing a bunch of money at the secret, the secret agent cat that they tried to make, or if they're like gonna have value in this. I'll have to share the feline story. That's a funny one. But they basically tried to use a cat as a spy. It didn't really work that well. So, and it says, as I set out to fulfill this task, it soon became clear that in order to assess the validity and practicality of the process I needed to go through, supporting research and analysis to fully understand how and why the process works. So he delved in, man, head first. He totally enthralled himself in this project. Frankly, sir, that proved to be an extremely involved and difficult business. Initially, based on our conversations with a physician who took the gateway training with me, I had recourse to the biomedical models developed by blah, blah, to obtain information concerning the physical aspects of the process. So he had to delve in, and he had to describe eventually use quantum mechanics, okay? So quantum mechanics, right? They use quantum mechanics to describe the nature and functioning of human consciousness. I had to be able to construct a scientifically valid and reasonably lucid model of how consciousness functions the gateway. Once this was done, the next step involved to recourse to theoretical physics in order to explain the character of time and space dimension, y'all. Time and space dimension, meaning they trained them how to travel through space-time using their astral body. Using their astral body. Their spirit, their soul, right? And this is all documented by the CIA. It's documented by the CIA. All right? I mean, I don't know what more you need to hear. You know, y'all can say smoke blowing, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the CIA don't blow smoke, y'all. And if they release the information, they like to release it because every time they do, usually it skates under your nose. You know what I mean? Usually it skates under people's noses. Nobody hears about it. Nobody hears about the shit. Finally, I again found it necessary to use the physics to bring the whole phenomenon of out-of-body states into the language of physical science, to remove the stigma of its occult connotations. Occult connotations meaning like religious, okay? He had to actually physically get into it so he could say, okay, I'm separating the religious aspect. I've got to throw out the religious aspect of it in my mind. Maybe he wasn't a religious man. And put it in a frame of reference suited to objective assessment, suited to what I got to accomplish as a FBI agent, right? So dude learned how to astral travel. He did it all. I mean, he did it all. And the CIA used this, and what they would do so you could gain the ultimate knowledge of it, they would send you back in quantum mechanics to describe the nature and functioning of human consciousness. I had to be able to construct a scientifically valid and reasonably lucid model of how consciousness functions the gateway. Once this was done, the next step involved to recourse to theoretical physics in order to explain the character of time and space dimension, y'all. Time and space dimension, meaning they trained them how to travel through space-time using their astral body. Using their astral body. Their spirit, their soul, right? And this is all documented by the CIA. It's documented by the CIA. All right? I mean, I don't know what more you need to hear. You know, y'all can say smoke blowing, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the CIA don't blow smoke, y'all. And if they release the information, they like to release it because every time they do, usually it skates under your nose. You know what I mean? Usually it skates under people's noses. Nobody hears about it. Nobody hears about the shit. Finally, I again found it necessary to use the physics to bring the whole phenomenon of out-of-body states into the language of physical science, to remove the stigma of its occult connotations. Occult connotations meaning like religious, okay? He had to actually physically get into it so he could say, okay, I'm separating the religious aspect. I've got to throw out the religious aspect of it in my mind. Maybe he wasn't a religious man. And put it in a frame of reference suited to objective assessment, suited to what I got to accomplish as a FBI agent, right? So dude learned how to astral travel. He did it all. I mean, he did it all. And the CIA used this, and what they would do so you could gain the ultimate knowledge of it, they would send you back in space-time. They would send you into the future. Or the past, depending. That's what's crazy about it. God dang it. So the CIA knows how to do all this. And what's crazy, though, about it all, is I read somewhere, and I can't remember exactly where, but I read that they had a tool. They had a specific tool, okay, that they can make you gain the astral body that much quicker, okay? And that's the truth. You know what I mean? So, just blocking some people, y'all. Just blocking some people. So this is actually a lot to do with collective consciousness, okay? This is kind of on the same plane. And I don't know if you guys saw my video on the 100 monkey theory. The 100 monkey theory. The 100 monkey theory. The 100 monkey theory is awesome. And it's true. It's a true story, okay? They went and they did a study, these scientists, these US scientists. They did a study on an island off Japan called Kojima, okay? This island had a monkey species on it, a generally of higher intelligence monkey species. They put sweet potatoes on the shore, And I don't know why this video didn't get much love. Probably because it's true. They put these sweet potatoes on the shore, and they were not native to the land. They were not native to the land. So the monkeys weren't familiar with what they were. But it wasn't long before one of the more mature monkeys, she was 18-month-old named Emo. She's an 18-month-old monkey named Emo. It wasn't long before she started washing her potatoes off before she ate them, because obviously eating sand sucks, okay? Eating sand stinks. So, she learned how to wash them off. And before you know it, 5 monkeys learned how to wash them off, following suit. Then 10, 20, 30, 40, all the way up to 100. But they noticed something special on that 100th monkey. Obviously that monkey, that species of monkey, it lived on that island, so it lived in nearby islands surrounding it. There was water in between, sometimes 1,000, probably a mile, half-mile water in between anyway, thousands of feet. I don't know why my camera's acting so funky, guys. I apologize. Get a little lower here, maybe. They found that after that 100th monkey learned how to wash the potatoes, every monkey on the islands surrounding them already knew how to wash the potatoes when they would drop the sweet potatoes off next, to that island next. So it was almost like a grid or something unlocked, and it was a network. Once the 100th monkey learned how to wash the potatoes before they ate them, they could introduce brand new monkeys, sweet potatoes, and every single one of them would know right away how to wash the potatoes. Wash the potatoes, okay? So that's collective consciousness. That's collective consciousness. We have it. We have it. But we haven't been taught how to harness it. We've never known we had it. Okay? Obviously, they don't want us to know we have it. Because if we did, we could communicate on a mass scale very quickly. There would be no need for communication or get our phones or our CBs to gather or talk. Okay? If we wanted to gather. So, this all has to do with this on the same plane of astral travel. Collective consciousness has to do with the spirit realm and out-of-body experiences, frequencies, 5 dimensions, 4 dimensions, okay, all that stuff. And this study, they never really, some people had debunked the study of the monkeys, but they didn't debunk it necessarily. They just didn't agree with it. They said there had to have been some other factor in the mix, you know what I'm saying? Which is possible, but I know that they were separated by long ways of water, and there was no way for them to, travel back and forth. They weren't swimming monkeys or nothing like that. So I thought that was a pretty crazy story. But of course, I didn't get no love in it for some reason. But it all has to do with the Project Gateway and CIA. All that. It's all on the same plane. So the CIA supposedly shut it down in 2003. I do not agree with that. I think they're still doing it. Okay? They started in the 1980s, and they basically figured out that you can, and we can do it, you guys. And that's what this lady was saying about the fairies. What we don't realize is when we vibe at that higher frequency, which I think a lot of animals vibe at that we don't know. For example, I think almost all animals vibe at a higher frequency than humans. You got dogs, cats, all of them. I think they vibe at a higher frequency than us. I really do. Their awareness of others, their awareness of being, their awareness of other creatures on Earth is higher. And that goes with even ghosts. That goes with even ghosts, okay? I had a buddy over not too long ago, and we was talking on this crazy stuff, you know what I mean? Talking on vibes and frequencies and all the realms, and he was telling me about these factions called the middle guides, the middle space between heaven and hell, the middle faction that kind of regulated the balance, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So in the middle faction, and then I ended up doing a story on the Book of Enoch. Sorry, I'm trying to read some comments and kind of going back and forth. The Book of Enoch. Did you guys check those stories out? After we talked about this middle ground between heaven and hell, or good and evil, I went and started looking at the Book of Enoch. The Watchers, okay? The Watchers. And Enoch themselves, the Watchers, were sent down to watch humanity as we developed on Earth. Basically, they could see all, know all, and hear all. Okay, there's 200 of them. Now, Enoch they're described as angels in Genesis. Enoch describes them as angels, but they're not necessarily angels in good standing with God. And by angels, I just mean spirit being, most likely. They were tasked with this mission to watch man and make sure everything stays kosher more or less with us as we develop. But they got tired of our arrogance. After a while, we kept bragging and bragging and bragging about the beauty of our daughters, okay? And we would boast about it all the time. So the watchers grew tired of this. They decided they were going to descend from their post in heaven and bear our human daughters as wives, more or less, and have their children, okay? So they descend upon us, and they have giants, okay? They have giants. And the giants and us coexist for a while. But before they did all this, they made a pact. They made a pact among themselves because they knew that people wouldn't look kindly on the higher-ups fraternizing with the people and the humans. They aren't supposed, so spiritual beings aren't supposed to long for flesh and blood. Spiritual beings aren't supposed to long for flesh and blood, all right? So when they do, it's a sin, and it's an egregious sin. I can dig that. God is your conscience, and your ego is Satan. I can dig that. Yep. And they were called the Nephilim. They were called the Nephilim. And dude, I thought I was going to get more hits on the Book of Enoch. I thought it was an awesome story. You know what I mean? But it didn't take. I don't know if it's because it's religious or what. You know what I mean? But I liked it. I enjoyed reading it, and I enjoyed learning about it. I really did. So yeah. So they descend upon earth. They bear their children with our daughters, and each of them, namely Azazel, teach man the sins of knowing such things as metal and armor. The unknown metals of earth they showed us. They taught women that jewelry and makeup, beautifying products were essential, and they made men more attracted to women. Like, we didn't have knowledge of all this stuff. But Azazel showed us the sins of, and created the sins of man, and basically ego, like he said. So they had their party for a little while. They had the giants, and everything was okay, and it coexisted for a little while. But then the giants started acting up. They started pillaging villages, and they started eating people. And that's when the archangels who were watching stepped in, and they went to God. And they went to God and said basically what they were seeing, and God said, I already know. That's her name on TikTok. Check it out. She's good. But in past lives, it is a really cool theory. It's true, I think. But no, all that sharing of pictures of people, they'll share themselves, and then they'll share another picture, and it'll be them way in the back freaking like 16, I don't even know, 1700s. Pretty crazy. And they look exactly the same. I've seen one of Johnny Depp, a couple other actors too. But yeah, basically reincarnation is what they're thinking, I guess. But I don't know how you come out looking the same. That's crazy though. But what's going on? No. Jay-Z, what up? Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It's forever flowing. Think about it. Why aren't we plugged in? Where's our energy source? Where's our electrical energy source? We don't have one. Our heart, probably. Truly. But, yeah. End of the day, we aren't plugged in. So it has to be something that is soul. Okay? If you look at it on an energy level, it's crazy. What was I going to say here? There's something else I want to talk about. Did you guys see my video on the grand experiment at all? It ain't getting no love. I don't know why. They're like totally killing that one. Damn, nice. You're lucky. Astral projection at 7? That's what's up. I wish I would have known all this stuff way long time ago, fam. My lord, have I been deprived of such knowledge. If they would teach us how to do this like right away, imagine where people could be. You know what I mean? Got some dust on my shit. Imagine where people could be. So I shared a couple other videos. Did you guys, that's what I was going to ask you, the Zohar Stargate video. Did you guys see where the guy said the moon is a spaceship? And he said that we're just spectacles. Like we're just the spectacles of ultimately numerous alien factions that come in here and they look at us like a zoo. Did you guys see that one? That's pretty funny. I thought that was pretty humorous. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. I know, I know. Could you imagine being able to astral travel? Yeah, wasn't that one crazy though? Wasn't that one crazy? Kind of on the same concept of the Grand Experiment. If you guys watched the Grand Experiment, I just posted that one. It was later tonight, but it ain't getting a lot of push for some reason. Usually I say that's because they're true. They don't get no push when they're super true. No, actually the Project Gateway is actually doing all right now. 10.5K. I was actually surprised as hell on the likes I got on that, just to double check it. Yeah, almost 2,200 likes on 10,000 views. So the way I gauge it is when I post a video. Before, when I was like at 300,000 followers or so, to like 700, 800,000, I could get past with a 10% like to view ratio. Meaning if I got 10% likes, they'd push me to the For You page. As I've gained followers, that number's gone up. I noticed. I can make it within the 15%. This one's got over 20 right now. So that's killing it. People like the fairies. Hey, I believe in fairies too. I don't care what anybody says. So that goes along with the Grand Experiment. So the Grand Experiment took place 65. Oh yeah, I do a lot of cryptids, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I know that invisible cloak was sick, bro. A lot of people don't believe that, but man, I actually read. So like I've told you guys in the past, with the information once in a while, when I post videos, I get comments that nobody else sees. And I see things like verification comments all the time from soldiers themselves, okay? That invisibility cloak, that one may have been green screened, but God, it was damn good. Let me tell you that. It was a really good job. Now, doesn't matter whether it's green screen or not. They stole that from the USA back in the early 2000s. We already had a cloaking technology in the 90s. Soldiers verified it. I used that in blah, blah, blah in the 90s, Desert Storm. And then another guy said, hey, I used that cloaking tech in Afghanistan in 2001. I'm like, damn, that's badass, yo. So it's not fake. And the technology continues to gain. They're using quantum technology. I guess it's a lot to do with quantum physics. And so which I'm not super good at, but I get it when they say it. It means something heavy. You know what I mean? I could be a little more knowledgeable of that. But regardless, they're making that stuff right now. So if you haven't figured out that the government doesn't share its tech until about 50 years later, and if they use it a lot, they won't share it for 100 years later. And that's facts. Time travel, they won't share that until probably another 100 years. But they've been already known how to do it since the 70s, 80s. Not known how quite, but they've actually ran into machines that they could do it from past humans. Under the Sphinx, to be exact. Under the Sphinx. They found a time-traveling machine that would actually help you to... It would only let you astral travel, okay? It never let you physically travel. But eventually, we broke the mold. Predictive programming is real. If you guys don't know what predictive programming is, it is the process by which movies and shows predict the future. And what they are said to do is they're supposedly supposed to soften up the masses for the truth when it comes out. Kind of like ETs. All of a sudden, ETs are all over the place. Like people are using ET and the aliens and using them in advertisements and all this as if it's like not taboo, right? Like it always was taboo. And it's kind of like irritating because you go, guys like me, you're kooky conspiracy theorists, right? Have been saying it all along. But now it's coming cool, bro, to be an alien believer. No, y'all thought that shit was dumb not too long ago, remember? And some people still think it's dumb. Which y'all are just way out of the line, man. You don't think there's aliens out here. Shit. I'll go watch my Pentagon confirms authenticity of this video. Tucker Carlson. I seen him on the news. Recorded it. He gets together with the guy that shot video of these UFOs, and the Pentagon did, in fact, verify. Whatever they are UFOs. Did they say whether they were aliens or not? They might not be. They're alien to us because we aren't even near their realm in technology and other stuff like that. They are much more advanced, but that doesn't mean they are just humans from another time or more advanced and then reset, whatever. Could be. I don't know. I believe it's a different entity than that, but we've been on this earth much longer than we think we have, and people are told we have, guys. Okay? Just so you know. Just so you know. That light is crazy. I got a new light. It's like right in my eyes. So, the grand experiment. Over 65 million years ago, the dinosaurs went extinct, okay? Well, the dinosaurs were the experiment on Earth before we were here, before we're allowed here, before they came up with our species to inhabit it. The dinosaurs ran the Earth for 200 million years, longer than a reign of any human being ever even tried to run, okay? When they got tired, I guess you'd say, or bored with the dinosaurs, I guess you'd say, they came up with a new species, a humanoid species, Neanderthals. So they, in my opinion, I believe they created the extinction event for the dinosaurs. Okay? Yeah, there we go. Whoa, bro. Oh, my God. Wow. Thank you, guys. I was like, what the hell? My fucking pupils are all like, ugh. Couldn't even see myself. I look like the freaking demon or something. Wow. That light is bright, y'all. Anyway, redo. No wonder I have a headache, kind of. You know what I mean? So anyway, thank you for that, bro. Appreciate you, for real. And of course, like, this light is like where I'm sitting. It's like the perfect circle to where my eyes are. I don't know if they plan that, because it's like a higher end, like, it's for green screens, in fact. It's for green screens. I got a green screen coming, by the way, a nice one, for my YT adventures. I'm gonna try something a little different, you know, see if I can maybe pop the algorithm there a little quicker without trying to use TikTok's platform to create my videos. Which I don't mind. I love TikTok. I'd rather be a TikToker on YouTube anyway if that was the case, but I know a few of them pop on there. But okay, so they created the extinction event for the dinosaurs. Okay, put Neanderthals down here. Then they roamed the earth for 60. So I know it sounds crazy, guys, but they found bipedal footprints all over the world that were said to be over 65, 100 million even years old. They've even found footprints that they claim to be 200 million years old. So we might even be wrong about the dinosaurs. Real shit. And they found those in New Mexico in a stone that is only hardened 200 million years ago. Okay? I actually did a great series on Skinwalker Ranch, BB. Check it out. Yeah, their numbers are way off, huh, Tamala? I like that. I like that name. Yeah, their numbers got to be way off, right? Facts. So anyway, we've been here a lot freaking longer than they think we have. But these so it doesn't necessarily mean this grand experiment is not true. So these higher ancient alien beings found Earth and they seen it would sustain life, so they created a experiment, if you will. It started with probably didn't even start with dinosaurs. Let's be real. But anyway, then when they put humanoids here, and 500,000 years ago, they upped the ante. Okay, they did another click within our DNA. They did another genetic modification within our DNA, which is, I think this is when we went from Neanderthal to the next level. Okay? Not saying there are still Neanderthals out here. You know there is. But no, they went to the next level human. Smarter, if you will, like all that. That's when more alien factions got involved. You're talking about the blue avians. Okay, and I did do some research on the blue avians. They're a bird species of alien that are blue, and they walk with 2 feet. Ceasefire, worldwide alert. Billy Meyer, Pioneer, mind control. Ghost in the shell. Huh, interesting. Yeah, I know about MK Ultra. You'll be the MK Ultra Ghost in a nutshell. You would love my story on the, if you haven't seen it, Indian Lake Project. You got to watch it. If you scroll down, it's got a gray background set. Okay? And it's probably, there's 5 or 6 videos, 6 videos, right stacked. Watch it. You'll love it. It's MK Ultra on steroids, pretty much. This guy stumbled over a box out here in the woods and blah, blah, blah. This guy says, this is the FBI. Stop investigating now or we will take you down by force. You're funny. I'm not really bearing anything, am I? I don't know. Melon and the Power. No, I don't. Melon and the Power. I know, I agree. Apo G-Man.